Morning everyone, welcome to Let's Get Working. Today we're going to look at resumes. A lot of the information that we looked at last week in assessing yourself will be very helpful for putting in your resume. I'll put up templates on the website that will help you in the process. Okay, so let's begin. You can find some nice colourful resume templates in Word. So on your resume you need to have your name in large writing, and underneath that, preferably on one line, you need to have your address, email address and phone numbers that they can contact you on. And then after that you need to have a career objective, which is one or two sentences that summarize how you wish to use your skills and talents to support your next job. An example of this would be to obtain a position as an administration assistant in which my computer knowledge and communication skills can be fully utilized. Then what we do is write down our skills. So the skills that you write down need to match the role that you would like to apply for. Now remember last week when you looked at Job Guide 2011 and you looked at job roles and what they had in mind. If, for example, we keep using the administration assistant today, you'd find that the skills that you'd write down would be able to work methodically, accurately and neatly, good oral and written communication skills, and able to work as part of a team. This is what people are looking for in an administration assistant. So it's good to know what employers would be looking for, but also to know what you need to have in the skills department, and maybe it's something that you need to work on to make it happen as well. Okay, so after the skills we need to write about your employment experience. You need to list it from the most recent and only go back about 5 or 10 years, and in that space you need to write the company name, the state and the city in which they're in, the date and month you worked there. So you'd have month, comma, year to month, comma, year. So for example, that would be February 2010 to June 2011, for example. You'd write the job title. So in this case, just say this person was an administration assistant somewhere else, and the responsibilities and also the achievements that they did while they were in that job. So I guess answering phones and that type of thing, but also if they were made employee of the month, you'd write that down and things like that, just to enhance you as an employee, to show that you're a little bit above everyone by having a few more skills or have achieved in a certain area that would make you look good. Okay, so you'd have that for each of your employment that is similar to the job you're applying for. So for example, you might have been an administration assistant, a secretary, a clerk, but you probably wouldn't write that you worked in a children's in childcare centre. You would leave that out because it doesn't really match up with the kind of job you're applying for now. Okay, Then we'll look at education. So you need to write the year, the qualification you achieved, and the city and the state that you did that qualification in. And you start from the most recent, and you really list what is relevant to the job. And it's best not to include incomplete courses, and leave anything out that is 10 years old or more. And this can include high school. You don't necessarily need to put high school in, especially if you're, say, nearing 40 or 50. It's best not to put the high school information in, because then people can't really see how old you are, and they're picking you for an interview on your merit, not on your age. Although people are not supposed to discriminate against age, unfortunately they do. So the more you can, just not show how old you are, the better. Okay, so that was education. Now we'll move on to putting down affiliations and achievements. Affiliations are like professional organisations you might be part of. So, an engineering association or a counselling association, or there'd be others that you might need to look up on the internet. Other affiliations may be community affiliations, like volunteer work at Red Cross, or clubs such as youth clubs that you've been part of, and what you achieved there and things like that. Okay, next we look at achievements. So you want to write the achievements that you have accomplished throughout your working life. So, for example, employee of the month, or maybe you made the most sales, just say you were in sales and things like that. Okay, now we look at referees. There are 3 ways that you can write down referees in your resume. You can write referees on request. You can write down the referee's name and phone number for an employer to contact. Or you can write down the referee's name and a written quote. There are different ways of doing this. Sometimes we're not sure who we can call on to be our referees. So by writing referee on request, it buys us a little bit of time to do some research and find a referee. By putting down a referee's name and phone number in your resume, you really need to have those referees keyed up and be expecting a telephone call. So you need to ring them on a regular basis and say, hey, is it okay that I use you as a referee? Someone may be calling you because I'm looking for a job in this particular area at the moment. And then the third one, by writing referee's name and a written quote. Just by getting a quote to show your character, is another way of going about it. If the referee is hard to contact or would prefer to be kept anonymous, that's another way of doing it. So there are 3 different ways you can put down referees. And also, it's good to just put one down. You don't have to put all 3 down. Okay. So, I'll just see what other information I have to add to your resume. A resume should be 1 or 2 pages long, no more than that. And you should have your name and contact details in the footer of the second page, so that if your pages happen to separate, they can be put together again. And also, just so the employer's in a hurry, it's just just for ease that your name and information is on both pages. Alright, so who to put down as a referee? We'll come back to that, I think. You could possibly put down person that you worked for, person that you did some volunteer work for, someone that you've known for a while, that knows your character, and that could be a friend or a neighbour. Okay, so I think that covers everything for resumes for the day. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and let me know what they are, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with an answer, whether it be by video or in a comment on the blog. I'll be putting all this information up on the blog as well, and I'll try and put an example of a resume or two, just so you have an idea of how to lay out your resume. So yeah, I hope that's been really helpful and not too confusing.